I'm Matthew Feickert. I'm not actually formally part of the OSPO, but I do a whole bunch of things in scientific open source software. I'm a particle physicist. I build and maintain open source projects. I am a member of, I contribute to Conda Forge as well as to the broader scientific Python open source community. So I get to basically have fun hanging out with the OSPO and kind of giving them my thoughts, but I'm not actually on the executive committee. I do want to introduce them real quick. The UW-Madison OSPO was one of the ones established in the 2023 cohort from the awards from the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation. The people here on screen are our executive committee, Kyle Cranmer, who's the director of the Data Science Institute, where I'm a research scientist, Bethany, who I think you do know, who's our OSPO outreach specialist, Cameron Cook, who is our UW-Madison Libraries Head of Research Data and Digital Scholarship, as well as Sarah Stevens, who's the director of the UW-Madison Data Science Hub, which is kind of the educational focus, and then Perry Govier, who's our colleague at Madison College and an instructor there. So our open source software internship program is basically a semester-long program for students that are enrolled at UW-Madison or Madison College to try and get them engaged in open source software projects more broadly. The way this works is that we have mentors who have a project that they want people to be engaging with, and they are the ones who actually apply. And then once we have kind of a cohort of projects, we then open up a call for applications for students. Sometimes those students might also already be known to the mentors and they're encouraged to apply as well. Once we have a cohort, these interns are assigned a mentor along with their projects, and they also have weekly check-ins with us at the OSPO. And we found this to be a great way to have these students be developing skills and how to contribute to open source software. We've already heard today about culture of open source and learning what that is, and that's not something that I think is a native or intuitive thing to maybe any of us. Also to gain confidence and experience in working in the open and being able to express ideas. Also open source software as a career pathway for different students, and also how to think about engaging in growing communities such as software communities. So this is some of our 2025 program group on the right-hand side. Before we actually started this, though, we had some lessons learned from a different attempt beforehand. I feel I can talk badly a little bit about this because I was the one who did this. So prior to actually getting the funding for the OSPO in 2023, the DSI had an open source student developers pilot program, but our attempt here was, instead of having an internship program, we were hiring hourly student employees to basically engage with open source projects. And the idea here was that this could be a way for the OSPO to contribute to the broader, specifically scientific open source software community. So we're looking to try and find projects that were interested in partnering with us, such as Matplotlib, and then having students who already said that they had experience in open source software being able to basically step up and help out in issues where they were already being flagged as help wanted. Ultimately, as I said, I feel I can say this was not really a successful initiative, but we learned a lot of lessons. And I'll also caveat that when I say them out loud, a lot of them sound really obvious in retrospect, but you shouldn't necessarily just evaluate students or employees by their CV alone. You should also try and see what their experience has been, maybe with particular interviews, but also student employees might struggle without a broader context, without as much structure. So again, this is maybe hinting that like an hourly employee versus an internship model, these might have different success rates, and that you probably also want to make sure that your resources and training match people's prior skill level and experience. So not having a standardized onboarding, but tailoring the amount of support that a person needs to them. And that also if you have multiple different student employees to one remote mentor, I don't actually live in Madison, Wisconsin, can slow the iteration cycle if you have people that need feedback as well as mentorship, even if everyone's online. So like I said, a lot of things that in retrospect when I say them out loud seem pretty obvious, but weren't when I started out. So starting from these kind of learned lessons, we built then this internship program where I'm going to walk you through a few different iterations. So the very first one is we launched this, that we had 9 mentors who had 9 projects, and we had 9 interns from UW-Madison specifically. Here we start off with a focus on research and scientific open source software. This ended up working out pretty well, and we also established here this idea of having weekly OSPO check-ins to make sure that both the mentors as well as the students felt like they were making progress and that everything was going okay. We also created basically final end of semester summary presentations where the students got to give lightning talks about what they had accomplished during that time period. We then bumped it up a little bit more in summer 2025, where we grew that to 11 mentors and projects. We also had Perry Govier from Madison College bring in 3 interns mentor 3 interns who are working on a scientific user interface framework. This also became a really interesting point for us because this framework, there was a company that was building a product on top of this open source framework, and they noticed that these student interns were coming in and contributing to this project that they were also contributing to, and we ended up getting some, I'll buzzword, synergistic interactions between the students and industry, and so this is one of the areas we've been exploring for how can we get this internship program to also help students who might be wanting to do software as a profession. And then we're in fall 2025, we basically tried to sustain this model, take feedback we had gotten and iterate on it. And in terms of feedback, we've over this 3 semester cycle so far, we've gotten feedback from both the mentors as well as the student interns on things that are going well. Having super high quality mentors who are excited about getting interns to work on their projects. That was far and away something we got over and over again. That was something that was going great. As was previously mentioned, people who are doing people who are doing open source software care. And so that's maybe not super surprising that you find people that are excited and willing to mentor. Also that the students were getting really meaningful skill development, not only in software, but also in learning about different sorts of hardware. And also just professional development, how to engage professionally online, as well as how to take responsibility for different components. Also, the mentors were telling us that by building this intern community at UW-Madison, that was a unique thing that they viewed as highly valuable, and they want to try and see this be sustained. And making sure that we have this kind of communication and community building through the check-ins was also highlighted as being great. Over these 3 semesters, areas for improvement are that 1 semester can actually be too short for some of these projects, and that people were asking us, or the mentors were asking us if we could try and establish longer duration projects. Also making sure that we had tighter connections in the cohorts. Even though you already had people working with mentors, making sure that the interns across the university felt that they had a group connection, that they could all have support from each other was important. Just more structure overall, and also beyond the lightning talks that we have a summary, also creating summary artifacts such as blog posts so that the students can go ahead and point to those in the future, both as kind of artifacts of the work that they've done beyond the open source contributions, as well as something that's citable into the future. So in spring 2026, we kind of put all this lesson and feedback into play. So our director, Kyle Cranmer, worked to expand the funding sources that were available and dramatically increase the cohort size. We're basically doubling it this iteration. So we were able to find funding at UW-Madison, as well as some individual mentors who already had funding for those projects, as well as some additional private sponsorship. So we're doubling this, and we're also now, in addition to having 15 new interns, we have 9 that are returning from projects that were done in the previous iteration. And we also have, beyond some university students, we also have graduate students in this cohort as well. All right, so in closing, just some kind of like broad reflections and thoughts about the future is that in terms of opportunities that we've found here, having these student interns having a lived understanding of what contributing to open source means and what that can look like, as well as challenges and pathways, has been really valuable. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on that. Also, just students gain confidence in their abilities to contribute, even if these are projects that to them might seem really big or beyond them. Just finding ways, helping them be able to find ways to get into these areas has been for them really great. They also gain experience in sometimes research settings, as well as maybe most importantly, a network of peers that they have identified similar skills with. Broader questions we have is, what can we do to make this more sustainable in the long run? For projects like these to be sustainable and to grow, we of course need long-term funding. So we're continuing to explore partnerships at UW-Madison as well as industry partnerships. And we also hope to be able to take everything that we've learned so far and be able to turn this into a pattern or a playbook for everyone else to be able to look at and contribute to and iterate on with us. So that's it. If you have questions or ideas, would love to talk, and you can find us there, and my email's there.